Hello traders, this is Rich from Tradesight. What we're going to do here in this video is give you an overview of the Tradesight futures levels. This video will walk you through all of the levels that we use at Tradesight. We're going to cover both the conventional and the proprietary levels that we use in trading futures every day here at Tradesight. Tradesight futures levels cover the following major liquid contracts: the ES, the NQ, the YM, the QM, which tracks oil, and also the YG mini gold futures. Before each trading session, a report is generated that gives us levels for all of the major contracts. Take a look at the ES. There's a number of different levels on here. Some of these are the Tristar numbers, the break levels, and the pivot series. But let's take a look at all these different levels here that kind of center around the previous day's close and give us the roadmap here up and down for different support and resistance levels from the report. In addition to the report, there's also an EFS tool for the users of eSignal on the eSignal 11 platform that will take these levels and plot them directly onto your real-time charts on your eSignal platform. This is a real big feature and something that is active and takes these levels and puts them right in your charts automatically for you if you're an eSignal user and subscribe to the Tradesight futures levels. But first, let's take a look at the different levels here and talk about what they mean and how we use them. Now, the conventional levels that we use for our roadmap for the futures are the 4 Traders Pivot Series, which consists of things like the resistance levels, support levels, the actual pivot level. We use the average daily range. The previous day's high, open, low, and close are all included as well. Additionally, there are some proprietary levels that are added in that really enhance traders' probability of finding some very key levels that could be support or resistance or breakouts or breakdowns. These are the pressure thresholds, the value areas, the break levels, and also the Tristar levels. Let's just take a moment now and talk about the different levels here and what they mean for our trading. Now, a lot of people are familiar with the Floor Traders Pivot Series. The Floor Traders Pivot Series revolves around the pivot, which, I don't want to get into the math too much, but is the high of the day, the close of the day, plus the low of the day, divided by 3. That gives you your pivot, that midpoint, and from there it calculates the resistance levels. Most of the times the programs will stop it at R2, but we calculate it all the way up to R3 for those extreme days to make sure that you have the full complement of levels available to you. Additionally, we also use the average daily range. This is calculated from an average of 6 months of trading to give you the expected range on the day, plus or minus whatever it's going to typically move in a day. And this is really a volatility tool. So if you've exceeded the average daily range, you know that there's a real impulsive move at hand in the market. And this is very useful for deciding how you're going to play, especially once you get to the second third of the day after the initial range has been put into place. Now, moving on to the proprietary levels. Proprietary levels. One of the key ones is the Tristar levels. This is an area of support and resistance from the larger time frames. A lot of traders just focus on the near-term stuff. They have the pivot series and whatnot, but it doesn't really bring the breakout and breakdown levels and the important support and resistance levels from the larger time frame down into your shorter-term charts like the 5-minute. Here is where the Tristar levels come into play. These are the levels from the bigger time frame that are brought down and painted onto the short-term time frames to let you know where key support and resistance levels lie from the bigger time frames. Another proprietary level that we use are the value areas. This is a market profile study where approximately 70% of the previous day's trading took place. Most times the value areas are kind of derived off of price and not just off of volume, but we find that it's much more important to use the volume figures, because really where the actual volume took place is much more important than just the range covered. And that's one of the flaws with many of the market profile tools out there. So what we do is we go through and we do the TPOs for the actual volume every single session and put those into the levels for each of the contracts that we follow. Another proprietary tool that we use are the pressure thresholds. Okay, the pressure thresholds are somewhat similar to the Floor Traders Pivot Series, but they're much more powerful and valuable. What it does is it anticipates the expected range of the day, and this serves as a breakout and breakdown level and a gap fill threshold. It sounds like a lot, but really what it does is it projects what should be the low and the high of the day, and it's not the average range, because that's just a static number that has nothing to do with where the market closed. But the pressure thresholds will give you an actual level that the market could trade up to, but probably not exceed. And if it does get up to that level, that becomes a key resistance level. And likewise to the downside, it's also a key breakdown level in an area where the market should have some support, because you've spanned as far as the market should go. Now on an opening basis, if you open above the pressure thresholds, that is an indication that there's a very impulsive move going on in the market, and they act as our gap fill thresholds. So if the market spends the first 15 minutes, let's say on a gap up above the upper pressure threshold, that's a very strong indication that the market is in the midst of a gap and go day and will not be filling the gap, but rather will be continuing to the upside. And the same thing works to the downside. And that's one of the things that makes these proprietary levels so very, very valuable. And finally, the break levels are kind of something that we put in there that may be something that one of the other tools is not really picking up. We put these in every day for all the contracts that we follow, and it's a level that is a breakout or a breakdown level in the market, and they're usually fairly tight to the market, and it can often be very, very good triggers for long positions when they're exceeded to the upside in the futures, or short positions when they're broken down below. And they can be very powerful setups in the market and lead to very, very quick profits and some nice short-term scalps in the market. All right, so here's a look one more time at the report results for this coming session. This is going to be for Monday, October 21st, 2013. What you see here is let's just look at the ES for now. We've got the pivot here at 1721 3/4. The value area high is at 1728. The upper break is 1730.50, and so on and so on. There's a lot of levels in here. Of course, you could go through your charts and plot these manually on your graphs, but that's a lot of work. So what we've done is what we've done for the eSignal users and subscribers is we've linked this data to a plugin that will paint these levels right on your chart automatically for you. You know, it's very time consuming to put these levels on, and especially when you have to bring down the levels from the bigger time frames. Here at 1750 is a Tristar level, and that's from the daily chart. So what we've done is we've made this so it's much easier to use for traders, and you can have these levels available at your fingertips just by opening up a chart that Tradesight enables for your futures. So let's take a look at what that looks like right now, and look at the chart in real time now. Here's a look at the ES futures in 5-minute bars with the Tradesight levels applied to them via the EFS tool for eSignal. This is a chart that I have up on my desktop every day. I have this along with the NQ futures that looks exactly the same. And here are the levels, and this is really important. Here's your pivot. It's already plotted. You can see the line across here showing what the pivot for tomorrow off the Floor Traders series is going to be. A lot of the other important levels are going to be the proprietary levels. Here's the value area high at 1737.50. The value area low is going to come into play here, and you can see that the value area here is defined by this shaded area. So that's another feature here in the program that makes it really easy to read. Now if we do continue to the upside, we've got this R1 level off the Floor Traders Pivot Series, and then the upper break is 1742 and a quarter will come into play. Then we've got the pressure threshold here at 1744 and a quarter. That's the upper boundary of what's the expected range on the day. So if we were to break out above the upper break, we'd have a level here to look for an initial profit with the upper pressure threshold. And notice that the U break and the upper pressure threshold here are just kind of sitting between R1 and R2 on the pivot series. And if you don't have these levels available to you, there's a lot of space there in between the two where you might be just kind of left kind of wondering what the market really wants to do. But these are key levels and very, very important. So as you can see, we've got a very, very well crafted and thoughtful roadmap of what to look for the levels. We can also change the chart to any one of the other futures and have them pop up immediately with the charts. I'll put in the YG right now. So now I've just changed the chart to the YG mini gold futures, and you can see that we've got all of the pertinent data here. You can see the value area, which is the shaded area. We've got our Tristar level, which is close at hand and was used as support today. You can see at 13.1250. All the relevant levels are there, and these are going to be there for all of the major contracts, the YG, the NQs, all the important liquid contracts that we trade day in and day out. So I hope you found this useful, and certainly if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. If you would like to take a free trial of the Tradesight Futures level or the eSignal Futures level tool, please contact Chris at Tradesight via email, and he will set you up for that. And if you have any questions, of course, please feel free to contact us and let us know what your questions or concerns are, and we'd be happy to address them for you. Well, hope you found this informational, folks, and good trading and good luck to you this week. And thanks for listening. This has been Rich for Tradesight.